My name is Ashley Gong, I'm 16, and I'm a student at Newtown High School in Connecticut. And this year, I've had the huge honor of serving as one of 5 2014 to 2015 National Student Poets. For anyone unfamiliar with the program, the National Student Poets Program is a signature initiative by the President's Committee on the Arts and the Humanities, the Institute of Museum and Library Services, and the Alliance for Young Artists and Writers. And each year, these 3 partners come together to select 5 high school students, 1 for each of the 5 U.S. regions, to serve as national literary ambassadors, spreading poetry as an important means of creative expression. And the interesting thing is, poetry wasn't something that I was always into. For as long as I can remember, I was always an avid prose reader. I would read lots of novels, write my own short stories, and it wasn't until a couple weeks before my freshman year that one morning I woke up and spontaneously decided to write a poem. It was completely out of the blue, but from there I began to read more poetry online, and I began to experiment more with my own writing. And really glad that I stuck with it, because this year, even though I've always known about the power of words, all my experiences leading workshops, reading at different events, and speaking at different places has really made me more aware of the connections that poetry can forge between people. I've conducted workshops at places such as Buffalo, New York. I've gotten to hear Edward Hirsch read his own work at the Guggenheim Foundation, and each time it has reinforced in my mind that no matter whether a poem is being read at the Guggenheim Foundation or a small room in Buffalo, whether it discusses grief or whether it discusses a bowl of soup, poetry really just has a power to relate the universality in the human experience. And it shows us that although we all see the world from different windows, we're all standing in the same cabin, sharing in this collective human experience and intimately connecting with one another through the power of words. And I feel like it's that empathy, it's that understanding that makes poetry so valuable to society, because it's what communities have thrived on, it's what individuals have thrived on, and it's that aspect of it that makes it, that has helped make it last throughout the years. This is the poem that I wrote more recently. It's called The 5th Series of Red. In deep-throated Julys, boys pray for legs that don't tremble in Midwestern fields, where a father shoots a deer and skins it in front of his son, whose hands shake with the primal rush of murder, from witnessing the most ancient of tests played out in the rural classroom of Arkansas, where boys learn how to clench their fists in fetal position, how to clean the blackened lungs of an M76, and how to shoot a deer so that it collapses into itself, nature's morbid form of origami. It's a boyhood of rituals, of learning how to build a throne in the jungle gym, of his father handing him the gun, which, despite all its stoic power, felt dead in his hands, a limp carcass slack in his arms, the steel arteries drained of all impulse for life. Just him and a dead man, out in the woods for his 16th birthday, his father swollen and red-faced, shouting instructions into the womb of the sky, which hung cocooned in tapestries of clouds. Him and the gun pressed into the knot of his chest, fingers flighty and nerves delicate like lace. Nothing but the backward surge into his chest, the bloody dawn dripping, a period of unborn words. Him missing his target by a good foot, the deer lurking in thick tufts of oak strung like woodland hair, his father swearing, fleshy mouth twitching with all that lies unsaid, just another fallen king from the assembly line of mass-produced men. Firm jaws, eyes that bite at chokeholds, boys who drink to become clean, who cup the moon's reflection in their hands and down it like silvery absinthe. Not him, whose hands still stutter when the gun stammers back, chatters into his body, who spends an entire evening afterward washing his hands in bloated sinks until they turn up raw, naked with christening. It isn't until 9 p.m. that he comes in my Chevy, and we drive along the collarbone of the Atlantic, watching as the moon melts away to a crescent in a sky smeared with mascara, all the stars dark as bullets. Him in the front seat, wringing his hands as if to choke the answer out of his palms, waiting for the moment when it is neither night nor dawn, and his father emerges from the garage, fists red like lipstick.